I want to do a real quick update on this Rocky Mountain Horizon 5 bow sight. It's getting close to getting close to bow season here, coming up here in about another 6 weeks or so. So I had a couple questions, a couple comments about the original video I put out a couple weeks ago, just when I got it, just kind of sort of what my thoughts were when I originally pulled it out. Had it now a little while, shot it, got it set up, got it all sighted in for where I want to get it. I do have it set up with 4 pins. I did take one of the pins out. I don't need or use all 5. Probably don't even need 4. But 20, 30, 40 normally out here in Michigan, as far as really I'm going to shoot. Got it set out to 50 right now, just because why not? It's kind of fun. Not hard to dial in. It does have the micro adjust if that's something that you're looking for. I've never had a sight that had one. Frankly, I've used a lot of cheap sights over the years, and really they work just fine. Once you get them set, they're kind of like set them and forget them here. Out west, the guys got the single pin and all the yard adjustment and all that they want to mess with. Great, but frankly, I could take or leave the micro adjust. It's kind of handy, I guess, on initial setup, but like I said, once it's set up, it just kind of is what it is. I'm left-handed, so I did it to flip my sight over. Wasn't that big of a deal, really, to kind of take it apart and flip it over. Let's see. When I took it out of the box, I did have the sight ring. Matter of fact, I still got to get a hold of Rocky Mountain yet. It looked like from the factory they had these screws were torqued down a little too much, and there's cracks in the original sight ring. It did come with 2. The other one was kind of like a bright green. This one's orange, so I put the orange one on. Like I said, I got to get a hold of them about the green one and see if I can get that potentially replaced. I did glue it for now. Should I want to use it? I don't really care. I mean, just because I don't notice much difference really. I'm also colorblind, so that also helps. Probably my biggest criticism for the price compared to other sights you might get, it doesn't come with a bow, a light. That would be something you'd have to get separate. This one just happens to be one from Viper Archery. It's a push button, rechargeable, pretty easy to install. It does come with a couple different adapters. It works well, but I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't have to put any adapters in it. That's just frankly how it comes. I thought this part was going to be plastic. It's not. It's all metal. The adapters are metal, which is nice. There's a plastic cover on it. You can see it does have a charging point. I can twist that so that it's not accessible, but it threads right into the sight. And it works very well. Probably my biggest criticism on this sight is the way they have the fibers captured, which actually is a really nice system. But where my criticism comes is the fact that where the light threads into. I do get that they blackened this part so that you can't, your fibers won't, like the ring won't be lit up if you got your light on. But with the way that, let's see if I can turn my bow here, with the way this sits off, again, if you're coming in and out of a tree, you're lowering up, or you get something caught on this, this whole fiber containment is plastic. So I can see the potential of more or less ripping it off if you're not careful. I don't know if I'll even leave the sight light on, to be honest. I have never had to try to take a deer when I would say a sight light would be required. But again, I hunt out of a tree stand. I'm not more or less inside a dark ground blind or something like that. If you're inside one of those contained ground blinds, and you're further in, you got the window shut sort of around you, I can see the need for a sight light, and you wouldn't have to worry about necessarily, getting snagged on stuff, climbing in or lifting in and out of trees with your hauling rope or whatever. That would probably be my biggest criticism. I just don't like stuff sticking out, where it doesn't need to be. But again, a lot of the sites today, when I look at them, definitely do have the way the lights fit. They do stick out in different places. So, and that's only, again, if you're in a state where you can use one. But again, probably not something I'm going to use a whole lot, but it was there, and I'm like, what the heck? And I had a light from some other things, but I'm really happy with it. I do, and the reason why, and I think I stated this before in the other video, but if I didn't, biggest reason why I went with this sight in particular is really the size of the aperture. I wanted something that was 2 inches or 2+ inches, because I shoot a 1/4 inch peep. So I want something to fill it in, and I want to be able to see, right? I want that light. I'm not shooting, I'm not shooting targets where I'm trying to match up my sight size to the 10-point circle on a paper target out 60 yards or anything like that. I'm not target shooting or doing 3D archery or anything in that realm. Not the saying that I couldn't with this, certainly could, but that's not, again, its primary use case. But again, as you can see here, as I get this thing up, I do have my 4 pins. Like I said, I took the 5th pin out. I don't really need it. They are the I'll call them green, red, maybe they're yellow. Again, they yellow, green, they look the same to me. The red, again, being colorblind, is a little harder to see, but again, in a hunting situation, not a big deal. Again, really, it was pretty easy to flip over to left-handed, so that was no problem. It does come with a number of different mounting holes here. With my Apex archery, it's the Apex XL quiver, similar to a tight spot. Covers the root holes, but again, you would mount this first anyway. So if I wanted to really move this thing out further, I could move it back in, but this is just where I found it best for me on my PSE. The PSE, the mounting holes are more towards the front of the riser than I know a lot of bows. It seemed to be more in the middle. So again, this is just the route I took. I wanted something that was fairly inexpensive, but somewhat durable. I've shot a number of the $20 and $30 sights over the years, and frankly, they work fine. They work really well. I've never had a problem with one. It was just, I got this new bow this year, and I'm like, I'm going to upgrade some things a little bit. So this is the route I went, or what I'm trying out. But really, at the end of the day, as long as the pins stay true, things don't move around, they don't vibrate too much, a sight's a sight. I mean, you can spend a lot of money on a sight, and there's some really nice ones out there, really heavy duty, made real well. I mean, you probably throw them down the side of a mountain, and frankly, wouldn't have a problem with them. But again, you're going to pay for that. So overall, so far, I'm really happy with it. If it's something you're looking for, again, it's not a bad sight. It's a way to go. Again, I don't recall what I said in the first video or not. I was looking at a lot of the CBE, like the micro tactic, things like that, but it just, the aperture just wasn't the right size that I was looking for. A lot of them are under 2 inch, a lot of them are 1.75 inches. Again, they're smaller, which, again, if I'm shooting 3 pins, not the end of the world, but I do like that big sight picture. Just again, when you're coming in on an animal, or animals coming in, and you're trying to get set up, and with your release and everything else, and drawing, and trying to be quiet and as motionless as possible, I want to be able to have as good a sight as possible too, especially in those early mornings, or as you get later into the dusk, where some of the low light situations. Having that size to have as much light come in as possible is nice. But again, overall, I'm happy with it. Again, but I'd say my only criticisms is that this ring is plastic, which would be expected to be. The only thing I would say is I kind of wish that here, where they blackened this, where the fibers go and the light goes in at, if that was metal, or if they had a different place for light to go in, which I'm not really sure where you would do that, but like where you would do that at. But if that part was metal and then this part was clear plastic, that would be better. But again, probably something I'll never have a problem with. It's just one of those criticisms. And then, again, I call it again the sight ring. It comes with two. The one I have, again, there's cracked where I think they don't know if they had them in too tight or what. But again, I've not reached out to the company. I'm sure they'll rectify that. I do see one of their other models. They have kind of a machined ring that they have on. It's a little smaller. I believe it's their dovetail mount. That looks really sharp. But hey, for like I said, the $100 price point, I'm definitely very, very happy with it. And like I said, this is all nice machine. It was easy to set up. Haven't really had one that is difficult necessarily. Not hard to move the pins around. I do like the fiber containment on the pins on the back. I know a lot of the other manufacturers are doing something similar. So I'm not going to complain. The pins are bright enough, especially outside. I haven't had any problems with them. Some may appear to be brighter than others a little bit, but it wasn't enough, I guess, to turn me off of this one and lead me more towards another one at this point in time. So overall, it's decent. I mean, it's good. It's going to work out. It's ambidextrous, left hand, right hand. I mean, if you're really picky, there's nothing you can do about it. But the Rocky Mountain, the mountains are upside down. I mean, that's screen printed on there. There's nothing you can do about that. I could take the sticker off here that says Rocky Mountain on it and flip it over, I guess, if I really cared that much. I don't think the deer are going to care. But I just wanted to do a quick update on the site. Doesn't have any buzzing or anything like that. Shooting it, so seems to be decent. So if that's something you're looking for, might be something to look at. Again, there's a lot of different ones out there. There's a lot of different ones I looked at, and may still consider in the future, just because getting into archery it's kind of a sickness, like any other hobby. You're like, oh, I can play with this, I can play with that, and Apex has a sight or two that I wouldn't mind picking up. Is it really going to make a difference at the end of the day? I find it very unlikely that it's going to change anything for me, and not that it needs to. It's just something else to play with. So anyhow, I hope that gives somebody some information out there. But with that, again, I think it's going to work out. And happy hunting this season. Hope everyone does well, and if nothing else, at least enjoy your time outdoors and get out in the woods. It's great. Fall's a great time to be out in the woods. So appreciate it.